A familiar face with a new name, that is the name of the game. We are discussing Daisy Emily Warne and her rebrand from BABii to Daisy. And if you'd like to hear more, please stick around. This is all gas, no trash. My name's Adam, and welcome back to the program, and welcome to a brand new episode. Quite a bit of time has passed since we last discussed Daisy Emily Warne. It was BABii's Daredevil 2000 project that came out a year or two ago, and we did an album review for it. So I'm not sure if there has been any additional releases, at least in my estimation, although one change that happened I think is probably responsible or partially responsible for her rebrand, I guess. So I guess we can discuss that. And there are some words that she shared on her new Instagram account that I wanted to, I guess, dedicate a whole segment to. So we'll go ahead and get to that. One of the biggest changes that happened to Daisy Emily Warne was that she would be conceiving a child with one of her longtime collaborators, Igloo Ghost. So I'm sure that inhibited her ability to make music for an extended period of time, which is probably why we haven't seen any new music up until this point. So, that kind of leads into the next segment. Naturally, when one has a child, the priorities shift, meaning that for someone like Daisy Emily Warne, perhaps she put her music on the back burner to prioritize her kid, which is entirely fair. I mean, there was an extended period of time where we weren't getting music, and this is probably the reason why BABii hasn't released music for a pretty long time at this point. I think it's probably been a year or two now, but it does make sense, and it does seem like such a monumental change in one's life that perhaps you're never really the same person, and perhaps the person that she was creating Daredevil 2000, or as BABii is, no longer existed. So she does actually share some words that I wanted to read verbatim on her personal, well, it's not a personal Instagram account, but it is the new Instagram account that she created in association with her new project, I guess, as Daisy. So I'll go ahead and read it. This was posted May 27th. It reads as the following. Due to creative differences with myself, I have decided to leave BABii and start my solo project, Daisy. Red pen in hand, I'm crossing out BABii and anything non-essential that is a correction, a revision, an edit of what was. So on each of those words, connection, revision, and edit, there is an asterisk next to it. And it does kind of, one comes to the conclusion that when it comes to like typing in chats or even text, when you make a correction that... when you make a mistake within a sentence, you usually correct the word with like an asterisk to, I guess, highlight which word you spelled incorrectly. So I think that's kind of interesting that she has decided to correct herself from BABii to Daisy, her first name proper with an asterisk. I think it's kind of cool. Daisy is what's left when I strip things back to their bare essentials. Pure, aerodynamic, breathable, the lawn is being mowed, the hedges are being trimmed, and sprinklers are being installed. In reality, things have permanently changed and shifted in my life, and my process has flipped from a 24/7 flow state to working in small fragments of time, made of 100 passing moments. This way of working has forced me to streamline, hold on to only what's essential, and create in the flutter of an eyelash. I can't wait to show you the new songs I have been making and to enter the new age of making things way beyond the speed limit with you all. Anyways, gotta run. See you on the other side. So that is the post itself that she shared. In addition, there was a reel that she shared, which was like the first post on the account that kind of says roughly the same thing, more or less the same message. But yeah, I think when you have a kid, it just changes your life fundamentally. And I can certainly understand why moving away from BABii to this new moniker as Daisy is probably more in alignment with her. And there is one other thing to be shared that I want to put in another segment, or Yeah, let's put in another segment. While we've gotten the announcement that Daisy Emily Warne has pivoted from the moniker of BABii to Daisy, along with releasing a brand new single called Punch, which we will be checking out, there was a separate announcement made on June 11th, which points to the fact that there is yet another project in the works with her longtime collaborator Igloo Ghost, which is going to be called Cyst, and the Instagram account for that is going to be CYST02 if you want to stay up to date on any announcements or info about the music. Along with the music itself, you can go ahead and do so. But now we're going to pivot over to checking out this new single from Daisy called Punch. Truth be told, I'm not sure what to expect from this debut single from Daisy. If it's only a change in name or the music has shifted as well, I'm not entirely sure, but we will find out together. So pull it up on your digital streaming platform of choice, or if you want to click on one of the links below in the podcast episode description, or even the video version on YouTube, you can go ahead and do so. And perhaps we'll leave it as one of the end cards for the podcast episode on YouTube for you to click on at the very end of this episode. So we don't play music on this podcast because of the fact that we could get copyright stricken and we don't have the license to play the music. I know a lot of people do it on YouTube, but I personally don't want to run into issues where we get demonetized or get banned from YouTube altogether. So I leave the responsibility of checking out the music to your discretion. And yeah, let's go ahead and check out the track, which is called Punch from Daisy, going in. Welcome back. That was Daisy with their track called Punch. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. On first impressions, I can say that I think this track is excellent. And oddly enough, the thing that stands out to me is the bass line. And I'm not sure if it's because it has like this unsettling nature to it, perhaps because it plays like minor notes or minor chords that makes it feel sinister or mischievous. And you have Daisy's vocals that are kind of the counterpoint to that, and largely the track feels upbeat, but there's just like this one thing under the surface that just feels I guess unsettling or sinister or mischievous, and I think that kind of plays out in the lyrics, at least in my estimation it does. Now this is my personal interpretation of the lyrics, and you can take it with a grain of salt. And from my understanding, it seems like both Igloo Ghost and Daisy have a healthy relationship, also a healthy family unit, but I do want to take this in a dark direction. From my understanding of the lyrics, or from what I can take away from it, it seems like there is an altercation being had between Daisy and a male figure. It doesn't explicitly state what is the reason for like this altercation, right? But I'm choosing to believe that this is about the male figure insisting on her getting an abortion. And she's like, that's not happening. So within verse 1, it says, take it from me, you can't take it from me. Take it from me, me. I've had my finger on the trigger, never knowing I'm a killer on the run. I'll never linger. You don't know me as a sinner. So like that last half of the song where she's saying, you can't take it from me. You've never known me as a killer, and you've never known me as a sinner, implying that, for her to be a mother that is being protective of not only herself and her child, it's to say that she will go through any means necessary to secure her own safety and her child's safety, that she's willing to kill even the father of her child, and is willing to do some nasty stuff to make sure that they are both alive. And later on in the song, it says, look here, no talking back. I've filled my lungs, no turning back, as if to denote that this was a urgent conversation to be had. And I don't know if this guy is not taking it well, but this has definitely been the point of no return. They had this sexual encounter, and it has resulted in a potential child being born. And I don't know, that's what I can take away from that specific part of the lyrics. But then you have this part that follows shortly afterwards where she says, I don't really want to end it like that. Trust me, I don't want no heat. Took my shot, couldn't take it back. Perhaps suggesting that she ran this information to this male figure and probably didn't receive it well, insisted on getting an abortion. And she says, trust me, I don't want peace. After hearing that, perhaps, Daisy wanted a family unit, a healthy family to be made. And this guy was just like, nah. And then, there's a part where she says that, what was it? Yeah, it just kind of repeats after that. I've had my finger on the trigger, never knowing I'm a killer on the run. I'll never linger. You don't know me as a sinner. That, she's willing to use a gun to, I guess, protect herself and do some some dirty deeds in order to remain safe. But that's the, I guess, the gist of what I have taken away from this song. And I think perhaps this is to add a new wrinkle to Daisy herself now that she is a mother, maybe to talk about her motherly instincts to be protective. That this song, even though it's not a personal reflection of her own relationship with Igloo Ghost, perhaps this is like an extreme case of motherly instincts kicking in, and a worst case scenario, right? To have a partner that is not welcoming of bringing a child into the world, that somebody is willing to, or at least in the case of this story, Daisy is willing to do anything to make sure that they're both alive. But I think this is a really cool track. I want to see how much of a change in the music will happen between BABii and also Daisy. On first impressions, it doesn't seem like it's a drastic change just yet, but that is yet to be seen with the rest of the music yet to be released. So we're still in the space of hyperpop, UK bass, and electro pop when it comes to both BABii and Daisy. But anyways, that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm sure we'll have more episodes available for you on Daisy once she releases more music. But that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you all next time.